Hi guys, AOS Airsoft here with another gun review. Before I start this gun review, I'd just like to introduce myself. I'm Francesco Ruggiero, the leader of AOS Airsoft. So today I have the Magpul Masada by Magpul Military Industries. I'm going to talk a bit about the externals. The externals of this gun are almost entirely made out of polymer. The only metal parts are the front sight, muzzle brake, outer and inner barrel of course, fake gas plug, the charging handle bracket, trigger, bolt release catch part here, the swivel mounts and part of the rear sights and the sling points. As said, this is obviously a PTS trading weapon, so they've kept with the as close to the real steel of the Magpul Masada as possible. So obviously they've made it completely out of polymer, almost. Magazines are polymer, obviously pistol grip, and the AFG are polymer. What I really like about this gun is that they included their M-bus sights, which normally cost between 20 and 30 quid, depending on where you get it from. And obviously I've kept mine on the rifle, though a lot of people love to take theirs off. Pretty easy to actually flip up. You just press this down here and that on there, and obviously front and rear sight flip up. You've got your close quarters battle sight, and then you've got obviously your above 300 yards or 300 meter long range sight. Of course it's an AG, so I don't see any reason why people would use it, but I think it's down to personal preference. Obviously to just flip them down, just press it down. Press this one down and press the button there. Obviously pretty easy to do. As I've said, they've kept with the real steel version, so they've obviously put all the trademarks. So you've obviously got your ambidextrous, fast select switch, mag release catch, and your working parts release, as you can see on both sides. There, and there. Pretty much everything on this weapon can be made ambidextrous, so you can remove the cocking handle here. Simply there's a hole there, you'd get a screwdriver or anything pointed that go in there, press the catch in and remove it, and then put it on the other side. As I've said already, all the controls are ambidextrous, so if you're a left or right-handed shooter, this rifle's perfect for you. I fitted a AFG, I can't remember who it's from, I think it may be a Magpul AFG. The cheek riser is also adjustable, you can also change it. So if you want bigger or smaller, I think this is the smallest ones that they come with. Obviously you'd put it back, put it up and then put it forward again to lock it into place. Almost everything on this weapon is interchangeable, keeping with the real steel version as well. This weapon originally came with a folding stock version, which could fold in on this side, or I think it was this side, I can't remember too well. And it could also, you could adjust it lengthwise as well, like an M4 crane stock. However, I preferred the fixed stock version. I just preferred how it looked, and I don't really like folding stocks on guns, in my own opinion. So I changed it for fixed stock. So saying, like the real steel, everything on this weapon is interchangeable. You can remove everything and change it for whatever calibers you like, as on the real steel. Of course, this is an airsoft gun, so you don't do it for aesthetic looks. So to remove the front handguard where the battery is stored, you'd simply push this pin out here like I've already done, pull it out, and the handguard comes off. And obviously, keeping with the real steel version, the barrel's also interchangeable. So you see you've got this little handle here that will fold down. So you simply fold it down and put it towards you, and the barrel comes out. And then I'm not gonna strip it down completely, but if you want to remove the lower as well, you'd push this pin out here and this pin out here, and then you'd remove these two screws, which you obviously need a tool for, and you would pull the stock out like that, upwards, and then that would literally be the rifle field stripped. You know, as I've said, they've kept a real steel version. The good thing about this is, if you're someone who likes changing between DMR or CQB, you could obviously get the longer barrel of this, fit a tight bore inside of it, or you could get a different lower receiver for high speed setup or sniper setup, and you could pretty much do what you like with this rifle. As you can see, the barrel comes off in one piece. You've got obviously your gas parts, and you've got your barrel with your muzzle brake. So you put it back on. A lot of people say not to. A lot of people say that you don't have to pull the working parts back. However, I find it easier to do so when putting the barrel back on. Simply that you just do the reverse of what I've done. Obviously, it's a bit finicky to put in when you do it. Trying to get it right. So press it down, and then you push it towards you. So it's a bit tricky. Bear me one moment. There you go. And then it'll click into place. Make sure it doesn't move, and then you just put that back up. Handguard, do the opposite. Before I put the handguard on though, I will mention a few things about it. You can buy rail kits for these handguards. As you can see, you've got the slots for rail kits if you wish. So if you were to fit a PEQ or flashlight, you can do so. As you can see already, I've already fitted a Riz on the bottom of it for my AFG. And as you can see, basically this was a rail kit, and you just get these plastic things that slot it in. You put it in, screw it in, and then it will house your Riz for you. And that's literally all there is to it. You can fit a number of set of attachments on it once you fit Riz rails on it. However, I prefer to go for simple, so all I've got is an EOTech, members sights, and my AFG. That's more than sufficient. So you know, just to put it back together, or to put the handguard back on, to line it up, make sure that it's lined up with this, so you can put it in, simply slot it into place, and then click this into place, and that is your handguard back on. So the weight of this weapon, I find it's quite front heavy. However, I don't find that a negative point. It just makes it more pointable in my opinion, because you've got more weight at the front. So when moving around corners, you definitely have a lot more pointability with it. The texture and the way this weapon feels, it feels very nice in the hand. The ergonomics of it as well are very nice. I've held L85s which I've liked. Obviously that's my own personal opinion as well, and M4s, and I find this Magpul Masada to be the best for me with ergonomics. They're very similar in design with the M4. I just find it's because of its polymer texture and the attention to detail that Magpul Military Industries paid attention to. I just find that everything feels naturally into place. As you can see, put my finger down, it just feels natural. Doesn't feel like, you know, just doesn't feel rough. Obviously being made out of polymer, it's very light as well. A few other nice features of the gun, although they prove no use whatsoever. You can get a mock silencer that in a way does make the AEG sound softer when firing. This muzzle brake here is obviously Magpul's muzzle brake. They've designed it in such a way that when firing the AEG, it actually, like a sound hog does, it actually amplifies the sound, making it almost sound like a gas blowback rifle. Like another feature, keeping with the real stuff Magpul Masada, to put a mock gas plug with you can adjust it in 3 different ways. So you can simply just turn it, keeping with a real thing, and you know, which on the real weapon will adjust the amount of gas depending on the rounds you use. Just find this weapon to be very nice to handle and very nice to shoot. Because it's ambidextrous, it's very good for both left and right-handed shooters. I'm a right-handed shooter, don't really shoot left-handed, so you know, don't really use it left-handed. Going into the range in the feet per second, it comes in at a nice 330 to 340 feet per second with an M100 spring inside of it. Its range comes out about 70 meters, and keep in mind this gun is still completely stock. The only modifications are external with the AFG and the EOTech sight, and obviously changing the stock. However, you can still argue it's stock. Moving into the internals, I don't know too much about who made the internals. From what I can tell you is that the inner barrel is a 603 inner barrel, comes with a high torque motor. The trigger switch is not your standard M4 trigger switch. The gearbox inside of it is actually a modified version 2. with a quick detach spring. So all you have to do is half field strip the weapon to get to the rear of the gearbox with a screwdriver, with a flathead screwdriver. Simply stick it into the rear of the gearbox, turn it until the spring comes out, and then you can obviously quick change it in the field if it comes in too hot. It also uses a micro switch trigger switch, which means that it's actually electronic. So obviously it gives you a better trigger response time, and obviously you fit a MOSFET in there, it's even better. However, I don't feel the need to do it. You can hear actually an audible click when you press the trigger. And the fire modes of this weapon are obviously safe, semi, and full auto. And you know, I just find this gun, I find this rifle to be one of the best AEGs out of the box I've ever used, next to the ICS L85. Its range is about 70 meters, although I'd put its effective range about 60-65 meters on 2.5 BBs. The hop-up unit inside of it is, in my experience, very good. It's not your standard M4 hop-up unit, and I find that replacements are quite hard to find if you ever did have a problem with it, although they are available. From what I know, because it's a modified version 2 gearbox, you can fit a standard M4 hop unit inside of it with a bit of modification, which I know that a lot of people, especially with their Magpul Masadas, have done. The next part I'd like to talk about is the magazines that come with the gun. These are Magpul's PMag-M versions. The only difference with the M version is that they come with a cover for the where the BBs come out of. I forgot what it's called. Basically, this, I haven't got it with me now, but this cover, basically you can either put it on the bottom and clip it in. As you can see, there's a little slot there for the cover, or you can, and there's a little slot there and there. Basically, if you're storing these magazines for a long time, or you store your magazines, or you have a habit of dropping your magazine, you can put a cover over it so that it will protect the lip of where the BBs come out of, which I find to be very useful. Although I don't keep mine on the magazines at all, because I keep mine in my plate carrier. The magazines are made out of the same material as the rifle, keeping it very light to have, and keeping it very, because it's a very high grade polymer as well, you can drop these magazines on the ground. They will get scratched up, but they won't break. They can get shot at, they won't scratch as easily. I find they do last a lot longer, I find, than metal magazines that I've had in the past. It's 120 round mid-cap magazines. They do feed very reliably out of the box. I haven't found, although it's suggested that you get your BBs, put a little bit of silicone oil in them and feed them through and do it until the magazines feed flawlessly. I find that I didn't have to do these. They come packaged very well as well. They don't come in the box, but they come in plastic packaging. And you can buy these from Fast Support. They're about 24 quid each. So it's obviously better to buy in bulk. I bought 5, including postage packaging, for about 135 quid. Delivery is obviously very fast. Even the magazines are, you can modify them. You can buy the Ranger plates for these, which are like the Magpuls for your regular Stannags magazines. Simply to change it, you simply press the button here, as you can see, and then you'd feed it forward. And as you can see, there's a button, there's your plate, and you can fit any arrangement of plates that they have available for their magazines. Obviously, to put it back on, you do the opposite. Another thing I forgot to mention is that there's 3-point sling mounts, 2-point sling mounts, or 1-point. The sling mounts are fully ambidextrous as well. As you can see, I've got mine on the left-hand side, although with this gun, they included it on both hand sides, the front but not the back. Simply change it. You'd simply gain access to the Allen key screw, the hex screw there, unscrew it, and then flip it around, put it on that side if you're left or right-handed. I don't use these. I use the, although it's not really a sling mount, I've started using it as a sling mount. I've just simply got on a key ring, put it on, and then put my 1-point sling on, because I find that with 1-point sling, if you pull it on here with the swivel mount, it hangs too low. So I put it up here to keep it quite high, and I just find it's more comfortable to put it on the makeshift sling mount here. I find that this has been one of the best AEGs I've had out of the box. Its price range, I think the only thing that puts a lot of people off the Magpul Masadas are their prices. The magazines are quite pricey if you go for the proper ones. You can obviously go for the copies of these, which are obviously ABS plastic and not as high capacity. I think 85 rounds. Can't remember who makes them. Like I said, the only thing that puts a lot of people off owning a Magpul Masada is its price tag. This particular Magpul Masada, without any of the attachments and with only one of these magazines, like I say, only came with the M-bus sights, cost 600 quid from fast support, which I find puts a lot of people off owning them. Although I would definitely recommend this gun. It's a very great performer out the box. Its parts are very high quality. I've taken it to a few skirmishes. I've had it for about 6 months now, and I haven't had to do anything to the stock internals, because I found that its rate of fire, its range, its trigger response have all been perfect and well within what I require. And like I said, it's just a modified version 2 gearbox, so most version 2 gearbox parts fit inside of it. Some Magpul Masadas come with a version 3 gearbox, however all the internals are pretty much the same, as it's a modified version 3. I'll definitely recommend this rifle. You could buy the A&K variant, which feels okay. I've had A&K owners of the Magpul, sorry, not Magpul, of the Masada tell me that the internals are okay out the box, although they suggest changing all the internals. So this is the gun review of the Magpul Masada, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to our channel.